Now, there is a broad agreement that America has not witnessed racial unrest on this scale since the late 1960s, the response to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. The circumstances in which George Floyd died and the highly charged response have shown again the deep mistrust, the deep hostility felt by millions of African Americans towards the police. Nick Bryan puts the events of the past week into a wider historical context.
The words state of emergency seem inadequate to describe what's happening in America right now. And not since the assassination of Martin Luther King in 1968 have we witnessed such widespread racial turbulence. If we rendered these pictures in black and white, they'd look like they came from the 60s. That was the decade when the struggle for black equality achieved such landmark success. The civil rights movement pushing for legislation that ended segregation across the American South and guaranteeing voting rights for black Americans. But there was unfinished business. Police brutality has always been hard to legislate against. African Americans have never achieved equality in pay, a form of income segregation that persists today.
The racism is a sore that has been festering for over and over and over again. And it's like when the sore is about to heal, the wound is reopened again by incidents like this. And you have to start all over again. And the question is, how much can people take?
Many hope the election of America's first black president would repair, even heal America's racial breach. But Barack Obama never wanted his time in office to be defined by the color of his skin. In terms of racial progress, his presidency was less historic than the fact that he became president.
This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
He was followed into office by Donald Trump, whose political rise started when he disputed whether Barack Obama was born in America, a groundless accusation. Many reasons explain his victory in 2016, but Mr. Trump certainly benefited from a backlash against a black president among some white voters.
America is being hit right now by three simultaneous convulsions: a pandemic that's disproportionately affecting people of color, an economic shock that's disproportionately affecting people of color, and civil unrest caused by police brutality that disproportionately affects people of color.
Racial division is America's default setting, so what we're seeing here is not some aberration, but rather the continuation of an unbroken historical thread. Nick Bryan, BBC News, New York.